Hey, and welcome to Unit 1 over kinematics. The very first lesson we're going to talk about is all about relative motion or frame of reference or reference frame. It's one of my favorite topics because it's just really fascinating. And here's basically what it is. In a nutshell, it's your point of view of motion. And what's really interesting is almost everyone has their own way of viewing motion. The only time you can say someone's going the same direction or the same speed is if someone else is in your exact frame of reference. So we're going to talk about that. What's important to understand is that your own frame of reference is always considered to be zero. You never move ever in your entire life in your frame of reference. Everything moves around you. However, other people see you moving. So it's a little crazy in that sense, but I really like it. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at two different people and how they view motion with these three individuals. We have Mary, who's off to the side. We have Bob, who's standing on an escalator to nowhere. And we have Jake from State Farm on the escalator. The escalator is moving to the right 1 meter per second. Bob's just standing on the escalator, and Jake is walking up the escalator 1 meter per second. So let's look at Mary. And let's ask, okay, Mary, how fast is every person moving according to you? So, here's what Mary would say. Mary would say she's moving 0 meters per second. Because again, your own reference frame is always 0. She would say Bob, who's on the escalator, is moving away at 1 meter per second to the right. And that direction is pretty important. Now, even though Bob's just standing on the escalator, because the escalator is moving 1 meter per second, you have to take that into account. So Mary's saying Bob is getting further and further and further away 1 meter per second to the right. Jake is moving away from Mary, according to Mary, at 2 meters per second to the right. And the reason why it's 2 is the escalator is going up 1 meter per second to the right, and Jake is also going 1 meter per second to the right. So when you combine those two, it looks like Jake is actually moving 2 meters per second. So according to Mary, this is how fast each person is going. Now, let's ask Bob. Bob from Minions. Let's ask him. That was a good movie, by the way. You should go see it. We should ask Bob how fast is each person moving. Well, according to Bob, Mary's not standing still. According to Bob, Mary's actually moving 1 meter per second to the left. So, Bob himself is going 0 meters per second. Because again, remember, your own reference frame is always 0. You never move according to your own vision. Now, the reason why Bob sees Mary moving to the left is since he's standing still, he sees the entire world moving, Mary moving further and further and further away, and Mary's moving further and further and further away to the left. So again, he sees it very differently. And what about Jake? Mary saw Jake moving 2 meters to the right. Bob sees Jake moving 1 meter per second to the right. The reason why they have different numbers here is because Bob and Jake are both on the escalator at the same time. So you can't add in this 1 meter per second because both of them are on the escalator. So according to Bob, he only sees Jake moving the extra 1 meter per second to the right because Jake is moving to the right. So reference frame is all about how different people view motion differently. And again, think about it. When you look at a ceiling fan, if you stare at one blade and kind of move your head around and move with the blade, it looks like it slows down and you can follow it. And then when you lose track of it, it looks like a big blur because it looks like it kind of speeds up. It never changed speed. What happened was you change reference frame. You were in the same reference frame, so you kind of followed it, and then once you lose reference frame, it looks like it speeds up. Just like in baseball, if you keep your eye on the ball, the whole point of that is that you're moving with the ball. It doesn't look like it's moving as fast. So that's all about reference frame. Everyone sees motion differently. Love it.